Justin Gaethje pissed off? Is this the first time we've ever seen angry Justin, or am I misinterpreting him? And it's very relevant. I've never seen Gaethje angry. I've never seen him emotional before a fight. I just haven't seen it. I've seen guys try to get under his skin. It's never worked. I've seen guys try to be his pal and buddy up to him to try to gain favor. Didn't work. I've seen guys try to be cute as a way of promoting a fight. Didn't change anything. But I've never seen Justin angry. I've never seen any emotion is what I'm trying to bring for you. And if he does have an emotion, including if it's anger, it'd be interesting to know before the fight. I'm never a huge believer when an athlete changes something. It always makes me, wait, why did he do that? Why did he change? You do something different, you get something different. But that doesn't mean that it's always worse, in all fairness. Sometimes there's a recipe. There's a book written. It's called The Perfect Match. It influenced me greatly in my college years. But it just talked about go identify the perfect match that you've ever had, and you might have lost it. It doesn't have to be based on outcome. What was the best performance? And then you redo that day. What songs did you hear that day? How much did you sleep the night before? What did you wear? Who did you talk to and what did you discuss? What did you weigh in at that day? What colors, what smells, what all do you remember? How long did you warm up? Who did you warm up with? What did you work on? And then you try to redo it. You try to redo that whatever you identify as your perfect moment, but you don't have all these different experiences. So point that I'm getting at, just because Justin Gaethje has had an incredible career and he's done it without emotion does not mean that if he adds emotion for the first time, he's going to get an adverse result. It might be a better one, just one we haven't seen before. I'm bringing this to your attention because I never realized that Gaethje, I haven't personally heard one of these interviews. I have read things that he said. I get lost in translation there. Every law school in the country, every student on the first day, no matter where you are, the professor will come and tell the class the exact same story, which is about a time that a police officer pulled somebody over and said, "You been drinking?" And the guy responds, "I've been drinking?" And the police officer doesn't put a question mark. He puts a period. He goes to court. He reads the statement, which says that the guy said, "I have been drinking." Everybody learns this, right? Tone is everything. Context is everything, not just the words. So I'm disclosing to you that I didn't hear Justin say these things, but I have read them. And Oliveira got asked about this. Oliveira must have read them too. And Oliveira said, I'm not going to fall for any of this mental BS that Justin's pulling. So whether Gaethje for the first time ever is angry, or if Oliveira, much like Chael, is lost somewhere within translation, I'm just bringing it to your guys' attention. What would have Gaethje upset? That's what's hard to imagine. Is it just the moment? Is it just the excitement? Is that just wanting to get his belt back? Is just wanting to get recognized? I haven't seen the line on this. Let me apologize. I have seen the line, except I've seen it twice and it moved. At one point, Gaethje was the favorite. At one point, Oliveira is the favorite. I do not know where it sits at right now. But being the underdog, is that what pissed Justin off? What was it? If he's angry, it's just a simple question by me. But anytime something is different, the performance generally is as well. And Gaethje was fighting Chandler on two fronts. Now, let me explain. When Gaethje fought Chandler, he was fighting two fights. One with Chandler, which was going to be really freaking hard and goes down as the fight of the year, possibly the greatest fight of all time. I forget constantly that Chandler did not win that fight. Like, both of these guys got standing ovations in the Mecca of Madison Square Garden. Very special performance. But the same time that Gaethje knew he had to deal with Chandler, Gaethje was taking on a fight in the media that even involved Daniel Cormier as to what a victory over Chandler should mean, juxtaposed against a performance that Islam Makhachev had just had. Justin was fighting two things at once. His mind was in two different directions, and he still put on arguably the greatest performance of his very special career. What could it be that Oliveira's done? Because Oliveira doesn't say anything. Oliveira doesn't upset anybody. Doesn't even try. And I saw these statements by Gaethje, and it does appear that he's angry. I just don't know why. Angry at what? And fighters can manufacture something. Fighters can put something in their own head. Fighter could have passed a guy in a hallway 10 years ago having no idea that they were going to cross paths, and the guy didn't say hello to him when he said hi, and he carried it with him forever. I had heat with a guy who I had never met. I'll leave his name out of it. but he was in a car headed to a hotel at a totally different fight that we were just both in. My friend Reese spilled orange juice in the car, and said opponent of mine yelled at my buddy Reese to clean up the orange juice. I lost my mind. Now, what's that guy know? He didn't know what I'm talking about. Maybe Reese was behaving like a buffoon and throwing orange juice all over the place. I don't know the story, but what I'm trying to share with you is you can convince yourself of just about anything. I had one hell of a rivalry with Anderson Silva that was absolutely as real as it gets. I never met the man. As I look back at younger Chael, you get mad a little bit easy, or maybe you get competitive a little bit easy, or maybe you talk yourself into something. But I know that other fighters do it too. I wasn't unique. So I would be curious what Charles Oliveira could do. And if Justin Gaethje is trying to build heat, maybe that's why he made the statements that I'm speaking about. Maybe that's why it appears that he's angry. Maybe he's trying to build a little something. Oliveira's not taking the bait. Where does this go? Look, nothing between these two guys but time and space. And as each second goes by, that time and space gets a little bit closer. Eventually, they're going to meet in that octagon. But leading into that fight, I think that it would behoove us, the viewer, not just to look forward to the spectacular entertainment, not just to look forward to the odds that keep changing, which means these guys are pretty damn close, at least in the mind of the bettor. But also, why is it important? What do they use for motivation? How do these guys get up? Very hard to become champion, much harder to stay champion. That goes from a motivation standpoint. Very hard to stay motivated to chase a goal and a dream of something you've already achieved. So all of these little details matter. All of these little details add to the story before they get locked in there. I'm bringing you this one, and I'm bringing it to you in a form of a question. Is Justin Gaethje pissed off?